several things. We're like the rest of you guys. We just passed our budget. Came in a little over $46 million, and we've had very few complaints about that, which is a good thing. Everybody seems pretty comfortable, as Ronnie steals my tea. Go ahead, Ronnie. This is what I deal with. Parker Meadows is nearing completion. It's about 95%. If you hadn't been out there, I would encourage you. They were supposed to have started the paving this week. I'm not sure if they did or not. Okay, the paving is, we've let the contract. The state's doing the paving for us, $120,000 for all the paving out there, which is a great deal. And that'll finished up with some light grading. We're going to have, put this on your calendar, Tuesday night, August 25th. We're going to have a grand opening. We're going to cook some hot dogs and just have a sort of a community party, if you would, to welcome the park. 6 to 9.
25th?
On the 25th, that's a Tuesday night. We originally decided we were going to do it on the weekend, and we thought, summertime, Friday and Saturday night's the worst time to try to get families out with kids and things like that. So let's pick a weeknight and not do it too late. So it's going to be out there. We're going to have a stage area set up around the soccer field, and we're going to have different activities on different fields. We're going to have what Derek we throw the cornhole and different activities on different fields. It's going to be a lot of fun. Very excited about that project. I know our critics made fun and said, build it, they will come, ha ha ha. Well, the biggest problem we're having is telling people we don't have enough room for them this year. They want to book tournaments this year. We've already got 8 major tournaments booked, and we wouldn't let them book anything obviously in August because we didn't know when we were going to be done. That's in September and October. We have 8 tournaments already booked. Give you a perfect example. A guy in my office yesterday, he's our rep, one of our companies is National General Automobile Company, and he's from Asheville, and he said, says, Kevin, we're going to be at that new park in September. So my son plays on a travel ball team, and said, we've already signed up for that new Triple SA. We've got 60 teams coming for one tournament. So the biggest problem is places to stay. And restaurants being full. So you're going to see that. When we have these tournaments, you're going to see the restaurants full, you're going to see the hotels full, the campgrounds full. Like I said, we've already got 8 booked this year, and we weren't even sure when we're going to open. So it's starting next year, about March. They're going to start booking tournaments. We hope to have 25 to 30 tournaments next year. So it's good for the county. It's big business. I just went over this, Beth and I took a little trip. For my birthday, went over to watch my daughter jump out of an airplane for skydiving in Greenville, Tennessee. So we drove back through Gatlinburg, and they just opened up a new place up there called Rocky Top. If you haven't seen it, it's basically the same concept that we got, except they've got football/soccer fields, several of them, and what appears to be indoor, I would guess, volleyball and basketball. But Sevier County recognizes the tremendous economic impact that we have. So it's going to not only benefit our local kids, have enough ball fields to play on, but it's going to bring people here. And I told somebody the only thing that would be more profitable or cleaner industry than that is if we could talk people into driving to the county line and just throwing the billfold in. Because they're going to use practically no services, but they're going to leave their money here in the town of Franklin and Macon County and in Highlands too. Let's see, what else? I'll leave that there. I think Pat already mentioned cooperation, which has always been good between our towns. We did agree to fund the SRO up there. Not only funded it, but we left it under the control of the town of Highlands, which was the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
And we took some criticism for that, but we did that handle it a little differently, but it's okay. We did the research and figured out the best way to do it. What else there?
Keys out project.
You heard us, we voted the final thing tonight. We already voted on it. This meeting can tell you, at a meeting the other night, we funded $3 million for the QZAP. Those are 0% loans. Basically, the bank, we bid that out. BB&T got the, whatever the interest rate was, probably 2.5%, 3% based on our credit rating. And then I guess it's a federal grant right there, it pays that interest rate. Anyway, it winds up being 0% interest to us. And we funded about $1.6 million for the Union Academy to be renovated, and about $1.4 million to the Highland School to renovate that. So that work will be completed, not before school starts, but hopefully we'll be to the point where it's not going to be disruptive. So that's going on, and that's really the final phase. You've heard me say before, we started back, I was actually chairman of the school board back in '98 when we started that, and we had all those mobile units. We had 100 mobile units. Schools were in terrible shape. Classrooms were too small. Technology wasn't there. Now we've finished that, and this truly is the tail end of that project, finishing what we started at Highlands actually with the middle school, and then we're finishing with this, and then Union Academy had very little done yet. So this is sort of the final phase, and then next thing we look at is what about Franklin High School? Do we need to build a new high school? And Ronnie and I talked about it. The county's debt service is doing this. If you look at our debt, when I came on as a county commissioner, county debt was about 60 million. Right now it's about 40. So it's dropped $20 million in the 4 years I've been there, just because we've been paying debt off. That's going to continue. We've added very little debt. The Park Meadows project funded the computer technology for the schools. So we've not added much debt, but we've paid it off pretty quickly. So if that continues, about 10 years from now, I think we'll be in a position to possibly look at, a new high school, you're talking about $50, $60 million. It's a big project. So that's something we begin talking about, and we may talk to the planning board about doing some preliminary studies on that. That's just down the road. We'll see about that. Derek, anything else? That's sort of the major bullet point, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate the town hosting this.
It's a real sales tax update, Mr. Mayor. Here's where we are now. We met in Charlotte at the National, we met in Charlotte at the National Association of Counties. That's where counties all over the country come to Charlotte. And at that meeting, and several in North Carolina, we keep having continual meetings at a conference called with Senator Brown. If you don't know Senator Brown, he's one of the spearheads of the sales tax redistribution. If you don't know, if you didn't read the daily news conference with him, the governor, the governor says he'll veto it if it comes before him, and so there's a lot of this. We're going to be meeting next week, and I think that we are involved, the association's involved, deeply involved, as is, most of your commissioners on this board are deeply involved in this, because we are one of the counties that hurts. Buncombe County, of course, Buncombe County is $209.1 million. So, but they're so far apart in the budget world that Bob will tell you. I mean, it's Representative Sane and Raleigh are the two appropriation chairs in the House. We talked to them, talked to some of them today, Senator Brown. So we're going to meet next week. And I think we're working on an initiative that maybe can put some of this money, if we want to do that, the lottery fund is down to less than 17%. It's supposed to be at 40%. So the lottery fund is at 17%. So it will help all the taxpayers, every municipality, everybody in our county, if we can see, if they want to redistribute something, put some money in them, put it back in the lottery fund. So we're trying to we're working on a solution. It's very you just need to go sit and watch, and Rob, you can't make it up. It's really between the governor and the House and the Senate. If you didn't read Senator Rappadaka's editorial in Sunday's paper, look it up and read it. You want to see what the atmosphere is like. But we still, because eventually, with the sales tax redistribution, we feel it's going to hurt all of them eventually.
Lonnie, do you think they'll try to do something with this budget, or do you think they'll kick it down the road?
Well, with everybody in the room, talking about Sane, Raleigh, Nelson Dollar, these are the players in the room. They were saying, to get your turkey ready, get your turkey thawed out for November, and maybe even draw mine for Christmas. So, they were serious. So the budget is a long, long way from even, and there's a lot of things in that budget that affects counties and affects us. So the sales tax redistribution for ongoing things, the health department, for instance, is not being funded. $500,000 for Macon County Health Department, which affects all of our citizens.
Sure.
And so it's, that money is in flux somewhere, so we're going to be meeting on that next week too. Hopefully that can help. And so there's just a lot of things that affect counties. My year is over in August, and that'll be in Pitt County for like 2 years for Pitt County. I think it's 4 days, 6 days. But it's been a, but I'll still be on the board, but it's been, this budget session, Bob been very active in the league and affects it, as he will tell you, Mr. Meyer, he's at our meetings, and, it's just a different time. It's a crucial time, and to have these two bodies this far apart. And the thing about it is that, the league and the County Commissioners Association, for the first time in a long time, are really players in this thing. And so, and we hope at the end that it can protect the municipalities and our county. So we'll, if anything, if you don't know Senator Brown, just let you know a little bit about him. He's a super nice guy. He represents Jones County. Tell them where Jones County is. I've been to Jones County a few times ago. But Jones County, a penny in Jones County is $73,000 on the tax rate. A penny is $73,000. That shows you how poor the county is. So that's the whole nucleus behind the redistributions. But in the meantime, the damage it does to counties like Macon County, and there's a lot of ifs in there about if they do the quarter-cent sales tax. Here's the fact: they did offer 2 quarter-cent sales taxes you could do by voter referendum. We all know in this room, if you put that on ballot, it's going to get killed 7-3. So what we're asking for, at least let us have one by resolution, if you want to recoup some of that, if it goes through. But that's your now-year president, and it's been interesting as Chairman Gordon can tell you, it's always interesting in Raleigh. So we'll be going back next week and then to Pitt County for St. Michael Lifetime.
Ronnie, if they do a sales tax in this year's budget, how's that going to affect us who's already done our budgets and made an assumption that we weren't going to get rate?
You might get right.
Oh, right.
I mean, that's the thing about it. I mean, and I know we compared to a lot of counties, and that was one county discussion we had in Charlotte. I mean, $400,000 to Macon County, compare that to Mecklenburg or Wake County, in comparison, per capita is a big chunk of money to us.
Yeah.
$400,000 to the town of Highlands and the town of Franklin is big money, and to the county. So, that's what we've tried to preach all year, that we've already had to pass our budgets. And some of these counties that went out on a limb, and they've estimated that their sales tax revenue is 7 or 8%.
Some of our neighboring counties.
Yeah, and so when we had that meeting with our county manager, we did 3. So, because you just don't know, and so, but you.
If it's not
Nobody knows.
changed, we'll be money ahead if it's not changed.
So and some counties can be in real trouble, and some of it is a tax. So, but I guess it's interesting, but it's something that both mayors have been actively involved. I can tell you that. And more word about Ron, the mayor of Macon Valley. He was a New Yorker, and Ron, he didn't care to call you, did he, Bob? And he would call regular, and his heart was in broadband and different things. And it is a loss. I mean, he would always call and say, "This is a New Yorker," and but he had a heart for all this region, and he was a good man. And you'd always want him on your side if you could argue like that. So that's all I got.